Hello and welcome to the Wiltshire Caravans handover video for this 2017 Elddis Crusader Storm. As regular viewers will see, I usually go around to the back of the caravans first, show you the outside, and then we'll go on inside to show you how everything works. So this one, as you can see, has got the Fiamma bike rack on it, up to 2 bikes and up to 28 kilos. So some people who've got the electric bikes, they are probably going to be too heavy, but you need to check the weight. Okay, so anyway, so we've got the top brake light, then you've got your light clusters and grab handles, light clusters for running lights, brake lights, indicators, reverse lights, etc. Space for your number plate, and obviously the corner steadies at the back. So just going around to the off side, first thing we get to is the toilet cassette area. As you can see, no pink rinse area in here. The flush just goes straight off the water supply. I have opened as many of the lockers as I can for ease of this video. So to the nasty bits. So when the cassette needs emptying, and you'll know it needs emptying because there's a light that comes on the toilet, lift this up and slide it straight out towards you. Okay. So that comes out, then to empty it, this thing goes forward, take the lid off. Do make sure that you put that lid somewhere safe. You don't want that falling into the area where this is going, because you'll have to go and get it. Right, so then push forward or lean forward over the area and press down on this top button to release any air pressure. That will help everything flood out quite nicely. At that point, you'll want to rinse out the toilet cassette. So slide that back, open the flap, insert water there, rinse, and then repeat the emptying process after closing this and put that back. Also, we are here, you can just see that float there. That's the when the cassette is full, that rises up to connect a circuit to tell you that the cassette needs emptying. All right, you'll want to be putting your blue or your green fluid in there. So on the cap, there are markings to see how much you need to use. Look on your particular brand, whatever you buy, to see how much dilution is required. Put that in, close that up, and then just slide that straight back in. Okay. My advice is also keep the locker locked, because if someone has put their cap somewhere too near the waist area and it's fallen in, they might not want to retrieve it. So they might want to retrieve someone else's. That's just me being suspicious. Okay, waste outlets. These are for the sink, or the 2 sinks, bathroom and kitchen, and for the shower. Okay, this you've got the all-wheel drive Power Touch Evolution manual engaged motor movers on here. There's a separate video for motor movers, which is available on our YouTube station. So alloy wheels, twin axle, as you can see, alloy wheels. The torque level on the wheel nuts is 130 Newton meters. Very important, and we recommend you check every journey. Also, the tyre pressures are very important because that's to do with the calibration on the motor movers, but I'll show you what that is when we get around to the other side. So, battery box, oddly enough, contains a battery. Good news. There's your electric hookup. Here's your isolator for your motor mover as well. Behind there you can also see a 12 volt socket and an external antenna point. Okay. And then next we come to the water outlet. Right, so the water, 1 pump, and it goes in here like so. That just slides up. The square connector, well, oblong connector goes in there. Click that down, and then you'll put this at this end into your aqua roll. This is a little handy hint. Most people probably know this already. I didn't, but when you're refilling your aqua roll, you can put your little pump in there in the little that out just to stop it from going onto the floor. Okay, you do have an internal tank in here as well. I will show how to fill up the internal tank from your alcohol or from an external source. Also got a service light on here, which is very useful when changing water at night. There is the exhaust system, so if you're using the Elddis heating on gas, that's your exhaust system, the exhaust area. Round to the front, the 3 large windows. Common with the Elddis, obviously the gas locker, grab handles. Going into the gas locker just to show you about. I have opened up the first one, but I do need to open it a second and it springs up. So, in the gas locker, room for 2 gas bottles, set up for propane in this one. We've also got in here 2 Alco wheel locks and a jack and a water pump. Your electric lead as well will go in here, or will be in here. You've also got a leg winder and a wheel brace. The wheel brace obviously is used for the wheel nuts and for the motor. Right, okay, so this, the chassis runs on the, well, this is the hitch, not just the chassis. It runs on the Alco chassis anyway. It's got the ATC, Alco trailer control. Basis of this is, there's a sensor underneath on the chassis, and if the caravan should start to snake at any time, it will put the brakes on to stabilise. You may notice it speed bumps. You go over a speed bump and you'll notice the caravan feels heavy for a couple of seconds. That's because the ATC has popped the brakes on for a bit because it's felt unstable. Okay, going around to the near side. First thing we get to, external Gas Bbq point. Okay, for anyone who's seen these videos before, don't have them on in the awning. Don't have a Gas Bbq in an awning. I hate to think what might happen. So then we've got an external locker. So just storage space in there. You do have a 230-volt socket there and an antenna point, so you can run a TV, electric line and a TV line into your awning. Spoke briefly before regarding the tyre pressure. So this is the weight plate detail. So it's got your CRIS number, the maximum plated weight of 1,740 kilos with this. It's also it says on there the tyre sizes and tyre pressure is 43 psi, and the wheel bolt torque, if you have to use the spare, and there's steel, there's 102 Newton meters, but if it's an alloy, it's 130 Newton meters. Okay, so once you get to the door, awning light, stable door on these, microwave, freezer and fridge vents, and then last but not least on this side, external locker going underneath the bed. You see the space there. There's the internal water tank. We've still got quite a lot of storage under there. Okay. Next, inside. Okay, so going inside. I'm going to shut the door because it's a little bit drizzly outside. Don't want anything getting wet. But here we are. Take you for a very brief tour before we do the more in-depth stuff. So there's the lounge area. Got the long sunroof. Nice long benches. Into the kitchen area. So this side you've got the cooker and the sink, overhead cabinets, etc. Other side, microwave and large fridge freezer. Most important thing there, cocktail cabinet. I mean a glass storage area. Sorry about the reflection that you will see every now and then. Going into the bedroom. Couple of wardrobes. Larger wardrobe there. In that one there'll be the Elddis heating fluid reservoir just in there. That's 50% glycol and 50% water. You shouldn't ever have to worry about that. But again, we'll talk about that a bit later on. So then into the bathroom. There's the toilet. As I was saying, that's where the light comes on to say that the toilet's full. And then you get to the nice large shower, etc. Okay, so that's just a brief run round. TV point in the bedroom as well as at the front. I'll go through stuff in a bit more detail now. Okay, so immediately on your left as you go into the caravan, here's the control panel area. Unfortunately, the previous owners have very helpfully written on the buttons what they do. So we have the master switch here. So oddly enough, that turns your master switch on. Not all that's the main thing. Then lights. So I'll show you those. So you've got lights. You can turn them all off individually. Here we've got the service light and the gas locker light. And then you've got the awning light there. Okay. So whilst it doesn't look too much in this light, I can assure you this would be far too much light for you when it's dark. Got individual lights here. So these can all, got the little, see if I can get around that, just individual switches. There, anyway. So yeah, there's your lights and your master switch. Then we get to the water pump. Okay, so to turn the, I'm stuttering away nicely here. To turn the water on, the water pump on, press there, and that will turn the water pump on. Now my pump is still plugged in over there. I heard it whirring away, so I'm just going to turn this off for now because it's not in any water and I don't want it to burn out. But in this position, you've got three positions here. You've got one line as an O in effect and two lines. So internal, external, and the middle. The middle, you would leave it there if you are getting your water from outside, as in from an aquaroll. That's where it comes in from. Or some people use the direct feed straight off a tap into their caravan. The danger of that is that might be too much pressure on the water system. So you don't use the water pump on board. You use the pressure of the tap. So anything over 1 bar is probably too much pressure for that system. You can obviously adjust it by just turning the tap maybe a quarter turn or half a turn. But if you're using an aquaroll, and even with a mains universal adapter, whatever, the middle part is how you get the water in. Okay. Now this, as I was showing you earlier, has an internal tank. If you want to use the internal tank, you just click it to the first position for internal. So that means the internal tank is what you are using. However, you do have to fill up that internal tank. And to do that, you fill it up, you can see here, from an external source. So if you've got your aquaroll filled up, you would press that, and that would then take all the water out of the aquaroll and fill it into your internal tank. And then you would go back to internal to use the water. Okay, when that tank is empty, the internal tank is empty, it doesn't automatically switch over. It will still try to be drawing water, so you will hear the pump run. However, on this display here, just press there, this shows, it shows it's 13.4 volts coming into the caravan, available in the caravan at the moment. Not surprising because we're plugged into the mains. It also shows 45%, and that 45% is how much water is in the internal tank at this time. So the internal tank can take 40 litres, as does an aquaroll. So if you've got an empty tank, one aquaroll will fill up that tank as much as you need. Okay. Whilst we're talking water side of things, I'm going to show you this before the heating actually, because down here underneath the bed area there is a yellow tap. This yellow tap is your drain down tap for the hot water tank and the taps system. So in effect, when you're leaving site, if you lift that yellow tap there to the vertical position, That will drain all the water out of your water heater, and then open your taps and you will drain all of the water out of the taps. Some people don't do this just for traveling. It takes about 8 or 9 litres of water in their hot water tank. It's very important to do this when you're winterizing your vehicle. This also will not empty the internal tank. That is a separate tap on the tank itself, but I'll show you that next. But it's very important for winterizing to drain down the system. Also, I'm talking about that tap on the internal tank. Let's go straight to it. Under the bed, there's the tank, and there is the tap. If I can do this, you can just see it's closed at the moment, which is keeping the water in. If I want to empty it, and I would suggest to do so before traveling, open that tap and all the water will just drain straight out onto the floor. Right, that's those bits. Back to the controls, and now to the Elddis heating system, heating and hot water system. So it's power on is this button here. We'll come up with this little display. Right, so the first screen just showing that currently in here it's 26 degrees, and we're plugged into the electric, and that's all this information is. Press the menu, and then you can get to the setting of temperature. So the top one is the temperature you want the caravan to be. So it's very simple. Down, touch screen. Typically my fat thumbs weren't pressing it in the right. Right, so yeah, literally touch screen, up and down to change the temperature. There is an option in here to go for a nighttime setting, so you can set between, say, this is already set to between 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock for 18 degrees. Just press the off button and then it will come up saying on. Okay, so now at 10 o'clock, between 10 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning, that is the maximum temperature that, well, that's the temperature that the van will try to get to. Right, once you've done that, once you've activated a function, go back to the main menu. Well, press the menu and you'll see A there. That is activated function. Now, press on that A and it will show you any activated functions you have. In this case, just the night mode. So then click it, or touch it, and it will show what it is and on. And to turn it off, just click on the on and that'll go off. And then the main menu, that A is gone. Okay, very simple, nice to use. Right, the next one, the shower, is for the hot water. So currently, if that triangle is empty, there's no hot water, there's no heating going on of the water. Press plus, and it will come on halfway. That will give you enough hot water to pretty much do most things in the caravan. Washing up, have a wash in the morning, etc, etc. And even for showering, as long as you don't go silly and don't want to be in the shower for half an hour, you'll be okay with that. If you do need to boost the water, or the speed that the water is heating up, press again and you will get a full triangle. However, that means all the power that you're asking this system to use is going to the hot water, and it will turn the heating off. But then when you go back and press down to half, the heating will come back on again. Okay. Whilst we're talking of the power, you see it's off at the moment, so we're not actually heating anything up at the moment. To turn it on, odd enough, press the plus, and the first one it comes to is 1 kilowatt. Now 1 kilowatt will heat things up, but very slowly. Okay. 2 kilowatts. Now that in the UK is going to be absolutely fine. Most sites will have at least that much available. I think that works out at just over 6.5 amps or something like that. And most poles have got at least 10 amps, so that's quite handy. That will heat things up rapidly enough, and the hot water. There is an option to go to 3 kilowatts, depending on how much power you've got available. If you put 3 kilowatts through here, and this is just for the heating and hot water, then if you turn anything else on, kettle, microwave or anything like that, you'll probably blow the breaker on the pole and have to go and reset. So my recommendation is 2 kilowatts, half a bar, and when I'm in my caravan, that is my setting, and I do not vary it. If you turn that off, then when you turn it back on, it will be set at that. Okay. You have got the option of running on gas, so you would turn the electric off. If you're going off grid, turn it on to gas. However, we haven't got any gas here, so there you go. Settings menu, there's an awful lot of things you can go through, which is why we give you a manual. We would be here all day long, and it would be the longest, most boring video of all time, and I do apologise to anyone from Aldi who might hear me say that. Okay, but that is the hot water and the heating system. Go back to the menu. Menu's there. Say menu. One thing you might want to do at night in the settings, you've got the backlight display. You can turn it virtually off. It goes brighter or darker. Bright. Any way you want to do it. You can turn it dark, and then that just basically turns the screen dark, so you can't see it until you press menu. Okay, and to power it off, turn it off there. So that's the controls. Now we're going around, have a look at a few more of the things in the caravan. So, as just quickly whilst we're at the window, just to show you the blinds. So pull the blinds down for the blackout blinds, and above that, the fly screens. Exactly the same on all of these, on all of the windows. You've also got a blackout screen on this front roof here, front skylight here, but no fly screen because it doesn't open, so it's only got the blackout blind. This has the same fly screen on one side, blackout blinds on here, all the way through. Okay. Lots of storage space in the Crusaders, but the first cabinet you get to contains your radio. Also, it's got your TV antenna. Now, TV antenna unscrews there, lift this shaft up, and then point the direction of the antenna into the same direction that everyone else is pointing it at. Then do this back up, and then retune your TV. Yeah, you'll probably have to do that in virtually every site, unless you always go to a same place or the place with the same tuning stations. Right, like I say, lots of cupboard space, speakers for the stereo here, little LED light under there. Down here, got a table that just comes out, as so. Nice for a cup of tea in the morning, or a glass of wine, or 3 in the evening. A couple of drawers. This comes out to make a large double bed. Obviously using the cushions, but make a large double bed at the front if you have guests. Under the side is just storage. We did see it briefly from the outside, just so you got access from there as well. We have already been under this side, just to show you again. Obviously there's that tap I was talking about, but also under here is the breaker switches and your fuses. Okay, there we've also got the gas isolation tap, but if you're running on propane, you can just turn it off at the bottom. Again, more storage there. Kitchen area, got two 30-volt sockets, got some light switches for the lights for the kitchen. You've also got under, it's like mood lighting, and a little light down on the floor as well. And you also have the Photonic Universe solar panel on here. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I've not seen one of these before. I see there's plenty of information on it, but this is why we give you a manual, because I have not. Basically, it's a solar panel and it will keep trickle charging your battery. It might tell you all sorts of lovely information, of which, yeah, you can monitoring, device information, test operation, etc, etc. There's a manual. Please enjoy that. Okay, so all you need to know is it has a solar panel, and it's fine, unless you're quite techie, in which case, by all means, read the manual. So, kitchen area against it. Have a little bonus there, a little aerial. Also have that's a standalone table, or freestanding table, however you want to put it. Mixer tap. Word of warning: the hot water is hot. It's very hot. Make sure you don't go straight to the hot position and go straight on trying to wash your hands. You will scald yourself. It is hot. So that's just a word of warning. Then we've got an area for plates. All sorts of storage in there. Oven. This is the Thetford Aspire 2 glass top on the oven. So you've got 3 burners, 3 gas burners, and 1 electric hob. It's a cooker. I'm not going to teach you how to use a cooker. There is a light for the oven. There's also, that's just spark to light the 3 burners and the grill and the oven. Word of warning: we have had someone had a very near miss. The glass top was down, and whilst that won't, you won't have the gas on. If you knock this and turn on the electric hob, that will still get hot. So that could be potentially dangerous. However, if you are worried about someone knocking that, there's a plug here. You just unplug it. Okay, so I'll show you that. And I'll leave it unplugged for now. Unplug, and I'll show you something else. There you go. See, not coming on. Also under there, another gas isolator for the cooker. Lots of cupboard space. Drawers. Yeah, all very nice. Other side, TV point. Drawer space, just storage space. Fridge. Okay, so this is the Dometic fridge, or fridge freezer I should say. To turn the power on, left hand button. The blue shining plug means we're plugged into electricity. There we are. You can go onto gas. It's beeping because we're not plugged into gas. We don't have the gas. And also you can run it off the car alternator and battery. Now, if you're doing that, you can only do that. Well, actually, you can do it as much as you like. However, it was only effective if the fridge and freezer are already cold at the temperature you desire. If you've got a 13-pin plug or the 2 7s, the fridge will maintain its temperature if you put it onto that setting. It will not cool down from the start, so to speak. But the temperature itself, you can make it colder or not, just using that button. Okay. Inside the fridge freezer, nice size fridge freezer, lovely size, lots of ice for your gin and tonics, your Bacardi and Cokes. I have had people say, good God, you only drink Bacardi and Coke. Well, I don't drink Bacardi at all, but no. So gin and tonics, Bacardi and Cokes, and whatever your desire, or even ice cream. Microwave, press Eco and to turn it on. It's a microwave. Again, I'm not teaching you how to use a microwave. The glass plate is there. We do recommend that you travel with the glass plate somewhere else, somewhere safe. But there is an isolator switch for the microwave just to turn it off on the mains. Okay, it's pretty much the kitchen area dealt with. To the bedroom area. Firstly, as you can see, 2 wardrobes either side of the bed, 1 larger wardrobe, 1 smaller wardrobe. So you can find amongst yourselves who has what and whoever sits on whichever side of the bed. Nice little touch in these. nice little slidey out bit so your loved one can bring you a cup of tea in the morning or a cup of coffee, whatever your choice of beverage is. And then I'll just draw space underneath. Cabinets above the bed, nice size. You've got these individual reading lights. Bed itself, this is in the daytime storage, I suppose you can call it, setting. It does pull out to about 6'2", 6'3", 4'5" wide. As I showed you earlier, this does lift up, so you've got some storage space there. TV point there as well. This one's got a TV bracket, light switch for the bedroom. This here, the strap is holding in the privacy screen. That just goes across like that and clicks in. So at that point, if you do have people staying with you, you know, pretty much closed off. Don't get me wrong, it is a screen. That's all it is, but it gives you that bit of privacy. And that goes back in concertina fashion. And when travelling, or just when stopped, always keep that keep the strap there. A couple of USB points in here, as well as the 230-volt socket. There are a couple of USB points at the front as well, behind that cushion, for charging up your phones, etc. Large mirror. I try to avoid those. This is part of the heating duct, where the heating comes out. Light switch for the bathroom. Said about the toilet, where that's where the light comes on when the toilet cassette needs emptying. This towel rail is part of the heating system as well, so will get hot, so just beware of that. When you've done what you need to do in the toilet, there's a sliding handle there that needs to go across to empty the contents of whatever you're doing, and then bring it back. But make sure you bring it back, otherwise you won't be able to get the cassette out of its holder, and that's it could mean you try to force it out and might break it. Again, okay, so sink and cabinet, nice big shower. These showers are really nice, I can assure you. I haven't used this one, but yeah, I've got the same type. The screen shower door, give it a bit of tug, and then pull it straight, and there's your shower screen. However, most important, particularly when travelling, click that back in, make sure it's secure. Likewise with this door, the bathroom door, there's a little strap up here. Well, it's quite clear, so retaining strap must be used to retain the sliding door when vehicle is in transit, because if it isn't, you are quite likely this door will just be flapping around while you're moving. You might be able to hear, I was going to show you how to operate the various sunroofs. However, it's just started raining a bit harder, so I shan't do that here. Omnivent. Now this is the like an extractor fan, or it can bring air in from the outside. Open this up. I'm not going to do like it's raining, so I open that up, turn that on. That's going to be extracting out, or bring them back in. Oh, turn it to the central position, but that's so you'll get the gist of that. So pretty much that says that's the Storm. Lovely caravan, nicely carpeted out. Yeah, very nice. So all it is for me to say that if you have any questions regarding this or anything else really, just give us a call on 01373 752 100. That's 01373 752 100. Other than that, just enjoy the caravan, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.